2026 has no chill so far. The anti-Harry Potter you didn't know you wanted. I got a special edition. The most unhinged yearning I've ever experienced in a book. Welcome to today's vlog. We're about to have a ton of fun. I am about to be on my way to Barnes and I've got about $200 in gift cards. So here's hoping we're able to actually do some damage and spend all that gift card money and come out with a gorgeous book haul. We shall see. Right, so I am back home. I've been back home. It is now actually 7:25, so apologies for the bad lighting, if there is bad lighting. It's really hard for me to kind of tell until I'm editing videos. I did turn up the brightness on my camera, but yeah, if this looks a bit wonky, I'm sorry. I just had to film this later than I originally anticipated because I've got, you know, duties and responsibilities.
Duties, responsibilities.
But now that I have some free time, I'm super excited to unhaul the haul with you guys. But before I do that, I have something really exciting that I have been waiting for a very long time. I've ordered this back in January and it's just now arrived. And that is a special edition book from the Arcane Society. And if you're not familiar with them, they are a really cool independent online bookstore that specializes in custom rebindings, and some of them are even signed by the authors. If you've heard of Fairy Loot, which I think is very similar to the Arcane Society, it's just the UK version of Arcane Society. Not sure which came first, but it is similar to Fairy Loot in that they do offer subscriptions, but there's a wait list to get onto the subscription. And this PSA, check all your emails, okay? Because I actually got invited to subscribe and I waited for like 3 to 4 months to get this subscription invitation. And then I didn't check my email and I missed my opportunity. I know, I'm so mad. So now I'm back on the wait list. But essentially how their subscription box works is you can sign up for 1 or 2 books and they'll send you these custom special editions, sometimes signed by authors, to you. I think it's a surprise. You don't know what you're getting, but they're all bestsellers. So kind of a safe bet. But anyways, I have been super excited to open this and I'm also very excited to read this book. If you are interested, I'll drop the link to the Arcane Society in the description box so you can also sign up and hopefully don't be like me and miss your opportunity to get off the wait list. But without further ado, let's open her up. Okay. They package it so well. So this book has been thoroughly wrapped in styrofoam, so you don't have to worry about the pages getting bent or warped. I'm already really impressed with this packaging. Okay, now for the big reveal. Oh, you see the sprayed edges already. And it's in plastic wrap. So let me take the plastic wrap off very, very carefully. Oh my gosh. So I got a special edition of A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle Jensen. On the cover, it looks like a crow. I know it's Viking related, so maybe this is like a nod to Odin, possibly. But it does come off the cover. Ooh. I love it. Oh, it's reversible. Shut up. Oh my God. This is so stunning. Okay, first let's start with the reversible jacket. So this is originally how it came. This is the back, the spine, and then the front. This is the hardback. Oh, so pretty. I don't even think this is doing it justice, honestly, because my lighting is kind of crappy right now, but it is so beautiful. And this is the back, the spine, and then there's artwork on the inside. So that is our FMC, and right here you can see that the author signed it. And then yeah, ooh, it's continued on the back. Oh my god, it looks so cool. It's a fight scene. She's probably training, I don't know. That's my guess. Wow, I'm blown away. Oh, I didn't show you guys the reversible jacket. Also freaking epic. Oh my god, look at that. I can't wait to read this story because the artwork looks phenomenal. Okay, this is the reversible dust jacket. Look at that. She looks awesome. Like I said, it's a Viking fantasy series, so if you're into that, which I certainly am, you might want to pick up A Fate Inked in Blood. But like I was saying, this is absolutely worth the wait, absolutely worth the money. This is definitely one of the coolest books I have on the shelf. Super, super happy about this. And even if you're not subscribed to the Arcane Society, like myself, you can still buy special edition books, which is just what I did. I just went on their shop and bought a special edition book. So either way, definitely give Arcane Society a look. Whew, okay, now we get to move into the meat of the book haul. I focused solely on building up my physical TBR. There were several books that I have on my Kindle that I don't have a physical copy of that I've already read and so badly want on my bookshelf, but I ended up putting them back because I wanted books that I have not read yet. So the first book that I grabbed is To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker, also the author of When the Moon Hatched. Still haven't read any of her work, but I've heard very good things about her Crystal Bloom series, which is a dark retelling of Rapunzel, and I think it is a trilogy. Okay, as you guys all know, this year I read and loved Dune, so naturally had to get Dune Messiah. I'm not gonna lie, kind of concerned with how short it is given how it ended. So Dune friends, is this fear justified, or does the length of the book make sense to you? Ooh, okay. So first of all, I don't know if this is even a new section of Barnes or if it's just new to me, but I did stumble upon their dark academia section and was instantly drawn to Vita Nostra. This is a dark fantasy, and listen to this blurb, okay? Vita Nostra is the anti-Harry Potter you didn't know you wanted. That got me really curious because I'm not sure what it means by anti-Harry Potter, but it is a dark fantasy and there is a magical school in here, but it seems like a very dark magical school. Like, are all the houses just different variations of Slytherin? Like, are we talking about a school for villains? That's kind of what I'm getting at. All of their punishments are psychological punishments, and there's a reason for that because one of the co-authors of this book is a psychiatrist. This is actually a Russian novel, so this is in English translation, but hopefully it's a good one. Very curious about this one. I also grabbed Given, which is one of the books on my 26 for 26 list, and this is the first book of the Giving Chronicles, I believe it's called. It's about a village of people who worship these gods, and part of this culture is some of the girls in the village get a special mark on their head, and when they turn 20, they are formally given to the gods, and it's seen as this big honor. Well, come to find out, and it's not a spoiler because it's in the synopsis, that whoever has a mark actually gets sacrificed for the god. And so our main character, of course, has a mark. She finds out what's actually happening to the women who have marks, and so she then books it out of there. She's like, peace, this is crazy, I'm leaving. But of course, here comes our MMC who's trying to get her and bring her back, and so it's a sort of, I'm guessing, enemies to lovers type situation. It just seems like one of those reads that's going to be very entertaining and fun. And listen, sometimes we need to throw books like this in the mix, okay? Especially when we're throwing dark fantasy into the mix and dark themes into the mix and heavily political sci-fi fantasy as well. So we just need variety. Nothing wrong with variety. I'm gonna take a quick break to try the candy that I got. So these are called Bubs, and it's very confusing because it says famous from the Swedish candy trend. So I'm not sure, is this Swedish or is this just copying Swedish candy? Okay, so it's not actually from Sweden, but the company has Swedish roots. Got it. I don't even know why I got that deep on it, but here we go. It's sour at first, which I love. Oh, it's got like, it's very light finish. This is good. It's strawberry vanilla, and I feel like the vanilla is a little weird. It really grows on you though. That's really good. So while we're on the topic of food, I did snag a Feast of Thorns and Roses. Oh yeah, we are gonna have lots of fun with this one. And I feel like it's gonna be such a cool way to round out my ACOTAR reading vlogs because I only have a quart of Silver Flames left. So I feel like it'd be super fun to eat like the different quarts. So for that video, I think I'm gonna do a full day of eating from this cookbook. I'm super excited for that to happen. When will it happen? Not sure yet, thinking about it. Hopefully soon, hopefully not too far away. Okay, so I also picked up Water Moon. I was initially enticed by the cover and then fully committed after I read a little bit of the synopsis. Listen to this. A woman inherits a pawn shop where you can sell your regrets. Hana Ishikawa wakes on her first morning as the pawn shop's new owner to find it ransacked. The shop's most precious acquisition stolen and her father missing. And then into the shop stumbles a charming stranger, quite unlike the other customers, for he offers help instead of seeking it. So in this fantasy version of Tokyo, there is a pawn shop, but not everyone can find it. To most, it's just a cozy ramen restaurant. Only the chosen ones, those who are lost, will find a place to pawn their life choices and deepest regrets. So yeah, I'm kind of already hooked. This sounds great. Guys, again, adding variety to the mix, we are finishing this haul with the favorites. I love watching figure skating ever since I was a little girl. I wish that I could have gotten into figure skating. I just felt like for some reason didn't think that was an option for me in the area that we lived, so I never asked about it or talked to my mom about it, because if I had, she would be so game to put me into something like that because she literally put me into everything else. Anyway, this is a book about two figure skaters that caused some kind of scandal, apparently. Not sure what it is, but I've seen people consistently rate this 4 to 5 stars. I've seen people binge read this, so apparently it is an addictive page turner. So yeah, count me in. Hopefully I will also feel and rate it the same way. So in total, counting my Arcane Society Special Edition, we've added 8 books to our physical TBR, and I think this is actually quite a nice variety. By the way, I did leave out the cookbook. Okay, here's a question. Do you guys count cookbooks or no? Either way, I feel like this trip was very successful. Thank you so much to my sister for gifting me that gift card and essentially sponsoring this book haul. So thank you for supporting. So now for the rest of the night, I'm going to read. I still need to finish 2 books by tomorrow, by the end of tomorrow, before I can do the reading wrap up. So I'll see you guys for the wrap up. We'll see how successful I was. See you in the next clip. I'm sorry, how are we in March already? That is just so crazy. 2026 has no chill so far. Does anyone else feel differently? Like, I would love a month to have just a little bit of chill in it. Hopefully that will be March, if not April for sure. Anyways, we are officially ready to do our reading wrap up for February, and let me tell you guys, I stayed up till 10:30 last night finishing my last book because I was determined to complete my TBR, but I'm not gonna lie, it was a huge challenge for February. Although in terms of ratings, this was such a spectacular lineup. Let's get into it. So first up, we have Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home. I gave this 4.25 stars. This was the book that actually made me fall in love with Miss Magnolia Parks. And now I totally get it why everyone loves her, adores her. I'm very much in the Magnolia camp now. And I think what made all the difference was the vulnerability that is in The Long Way Home, but also you get to see the many layers of Magnolia. It's really easy to write her off as this out of touch, superficial, shallow young woman. But then Long Way Home kind of turns everything you think you know about this character on its head, and you get to the roots, you get to the heart of Magnolia, and that is what won me over. And then I directly moved on to Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, and I gave this 4 stars. If I'm being honest, this book made me feel rather impatient and even a little ungracious towards Daisy and Christian's conflict. But towards the end, and similar to all of my other Jessa Hastings experiences so far, I was fully invested. And surprisingly, what I enjoyed most about The Great Undoing was exploring Julian Haight's character more. I enjoyed his POV so much so that I am now conflicted about who I personally feel should be endgame for Magnolia Parks. And that is saying a lot. So I totally understand why there's these two camps between Julian and BJ Valentine. I totally get it now. Then I switched things up by adding Rebel Witch. Now, if you call from my reset video, this was not originally on my TBR. It was supposed to be The Fate of the Sun King, which I ended up DNFing, much to my surprise. So I switched gears and picked Rebel Witch and had a fantastic time pretty much from the start. This is also a 4-star read. I love a good duology. It's so satisfying to complete a series and complete it within a reasonable time frame and without any of the books feeling like filler. This was flawless pacing. It was packed with unpredictable plot twists, which I really appreciate because now that I've read a fair share of fantasy, it's kind of hard to throw me off. It's getting harder to shock me. So I really appreciate the fact that this book was able to do that. It was a wonderful end to the series, and I definitely want to get the physical copy of the book at some point soon. Then, guys, I changed my TBR again. At some point, I was supposed to read Sins of Silas, which I was meant to buddy read with bestie Sarah. We chatted about it. We had like maybe a week left in February, and here's the thing. Sins of Silas is not a short book. It's approaching about 800 pages, and given that we didn't really love Lies of Lena, we just didn't feel like it was worth the investment yet. So I diverged and picked the first book that I soft DNF'd this year, which was The Wager, and this ended up being another 4-star read for me. This is a nonfiction that is actually a page turner. It is an astonishing account of human survival, desperation, and ambition. Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, it somehow always does. And what's interesting to see about this book is it's making its rounds around my family. So my dad has already read it. My sister's fiance has read it. They both devoured it within the span of 48 hours. I've read it, obviously, and now my mother-in-law is going to read it. And we all have varied taste in books, but everyone that's read it so far has agreed that The Wager is a good book. So if you're looking for an epic nonfiction, look no further than The Wager. Okay, so far I've gone through everything in reading order, and apparently I have saved the best for last because The Silversmith is a 5-star read. It's honestly approaching 6-star level of obsession. I am mulling it over on whether or not it is. I loved this book. This is a romantasy that has set a whole new level of yearning for me. Y'all, the yearning in this book had me pacing my kitchen at 9:30 last night. The most unhinged yearning I've ever experienced in a book. And I was skeptical about this book when I first started it. It was a very unassuming Kindle Unlimited read. I have heard nobody talking about it yet, but I am happy to see that it is getting some hype now because I think it is severely underhyped at the moment and it deserves all of the hype. I don't think it's possible to overhype this book. I just think it deserves hype in general. If you are looking for romantasy, obviously if you're more of a epic fantasy reader, literary fiction, nonfiction, you may not enjoy it. But for those of us in romantasy land, whew, read The Silversmith. And believe it or not, that wraps up February. I know I typically combine reading wrap-ups with the TBR picks for the next month, but since I'm doing the TBR jar a little differently this time, I decided to make that a separate video. So for now, I will leave you guys, but as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye!